Welcome back out in the woods, and today we're gonna do everything fire starters. Don't buy them, make your own. Hello, how you doing? Today we're here and we're gonna talk. Hello, this may look a little bit different than being out in the woods. I started this video out in the woods, but you ever have somebody just like talk your ear off? That's kind of what happened. Extremely nice lady, but she came up to me when I was, getting ready to do my fire starter type video, and it was, oh, what are you doing? Are you filming? Are you looking for the bald eagle? Are you just... Nice lady. She was so sweet, but I just ended up spending the time that I was in the woods just shooting the shit, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this at home. So here we are. Welcome back. So we're gonna talk about fire starters, not these in particular. This is just something I'm using for an example. We're gonna make our own. This is a box of fire starters. On average, this goes anywhere between $7 and $10. You may be able to get a bit cheaper, but you only get 12 of them. So we're gonna make our own, and it'll yield more fire starters than you could ever want or need, and you can do it for less than $4. So let's just get into it. These fire starters right here, let's see what's in them. Okay, so this is a pine scented fire starter that's made of highly resinous pine pitch wood, blended with a small amount of food grade wax. Each one is guaranteed to light your fire, but you only get 12 of them, and these things are huge. So as you can see, I've only used these a couple of times. So we're just gonna get rid of these. Some of you might remember that I actually made my own fire starters from pine resin. I took and harvested the pine sap off of the trees. Hi, kitty. Cat's just meowing away. This video was going so well. I took some pine pitch and I wrapped it in dryer lint, and that ensured that A, it's not going to stick together, and B, it's going to take a flame right away and work. So let me just go over what's in my fire kit, and then we'll get into making some fire starters. This is my fire starter kit. This is everything that I could ever want and need to light a fire successfully. This is just something I picked up at a Army Navy surplus store. It's military surplus, and this is what I carry. In the smaller pocket right here, I carry a little thing of matches. I have a lighter, another set of matches. These are the waterproof mat. I'm going to tell you now, these matches right here, they suck. All right, but I keep them in there anyways. Ferro rod, happen to love this one. Long burn matches that are waterproof. So I have these are excellent. So I keep these. These tea light candles, these can come in handy as well. Another blade with like a little sheath that I made just in case I might need a little type of blade. I have that. I have this. So this is just a little soap container, all right? So you can use pretty much anything. And what I keep in there is fire starters that you've seen me use on recent camps. These just happen to be leftover wax, that's why they're red. This is the pine pitch resin that I've collected and harvested from pine trees. Right there, it's pretty hard. This lights very, very easily. And when this was moist, like these little balls that I made, this is that resin, and it's covered in dryer lint. My cats are freaking out there. Hey! But I have these pine pitch balls right here, and they happen to be covered with dryer lint just to make it so they're not going to stick together, and this catches instantly when you hit it with a lighter, and then in turn it's going to light the resin, and this will get your fire started. So say you have wood that's maybe a little bit more moist and you can't seem to get it lit. I also keep, these are fuel tabs. These are hexamine tablets. This will absolutely 100%, no matter what, get your fire going. But they might not be available to everyone, but that's the hexamine tablets, and I carry a few of these. And that's my fire kit. Oh, and I also wanted to show you what I keep in this little Pokemon tin. This was just something I found in an abandoned location, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna repurpose it. So inside this little tin, I keep some dryer lint, if need be, and that's where I keep all these little extra little pads that we're gonna make today. So I'm basically gonna show you how easy it is to make your own fire starters and then just set them aside. You don't have to, you can make hundreds for no money at all. And everything you can find at the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna be melting wax in a pan that's, obviously it's pretty beat up, and I have it on no food use, you know, so I'll know never to use this for food, but I kind of keep this in my camp supplies anyway, so I wouldn't mistake it. So we're going to be melting wax in this. This is just a package of 6. These are the 4-hour emergency candles. I got these at the Dollar Tree, so $1.25, you get 6 of them. We're going to melt these down. And these are the little pads that I got, and there's 200 of these in here. Sometimes you can find them in bags of 100, sometimes you can buy them in bags of 300. So there you go. And you're gonna only use 1 or 2 of these anyways when you put it into your fire to get it lit. So let me show you what they look like, and then we'll make our own. This is just a backup bag that I keep for when I need to re-up on my fire starters. I'll take whatever I need and throw them in. They don't melt. You know, they're not melting or anything like that. They're pretty solid. And when you want to, I'll sacrifice one. When you want to, you know, light your fire, you're going to bend that up a little bit. Where's the matter, kitty? You're going to bend that up a little bit and expose some of the cotton, and just take your lighter to it, and you'll have a fire. So let's make some. Like I said, all you're going to need is something to melt your wax in. That just happens to be the pot I'm going to use today. You're going to need some sort of like tongs to fish the cotton soaked wax out of the pan. So this is Dollar Tree tongs. Have a place like a little bit of foil. I've actually reused this. You can probably see little pieces of wax, just folded it up. So I'm going to use that. Here's the candles, and then here's your pads from whatever these are for. You can use the square ones, round ones, whatever you can find. You'll get your money's worth in a package like that. This couldn't be any easier. So what we're going to do is you're just going to take your candles. I'll put in probably just 2 for right now, because I might as well just make some more. And I'm just going to bust them in half. You don't have to, and I don't worry about the wick, because the wax is all going to melt down, and you're just going to be left with like a string in there. So we'll just do that. Break it, throw it in, break it, throw it in, and that's it. So there we go. I'm going to put it on the pan right there. And I'm just putting that on just a slow flame, and it'll start to melt. It's literally starting to melt now, and I'll show you that in a moment. But let that go and get it all liquidy, and we'll get our little pads ready to go. I'll just grab a handful. All right, how are we doing? Oh yeah, look at this. See, it's liquid right now. Can you see that? All right, so my wax is all melted, and you might be like, why would you do that when you can actually go out and just get your fire starter? Because why not? You're going to get your money's worth. You're never going to have to, probably never have to buy fire starters ever again. You can put these away and just keep on using them. Hi, Libby. Hi, you gotta get off the counter. Say hi. Good girl. So as you can see, the wax is melted. The little strings or the little wicks are still left in there. I don't care. So we're just gonna leave that in there. If you wanna pick them out, feel free. And you're just gonna drop a couple of these pads directly into the wax and just let them soak it up. All right, so I'll show you right now. This is what, like, you can hear them expand too. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just gonna throw that in there. This is basically how easy it is. They're soaked in the wax, very hot. This is what they look like. And you're just going to take it and just lay it down to cool. And I'm telling you, these things work phenomenal. And if your wax starts to, you know, get a little hard when you're doing this, just put it back on the stove and warm it up. The wicks, if you want to pull them out, you can pull the wicks out. I just leave them in there and they don't stick to the pad. All right, let's put some more in. Drop it in the wax. Drop it in. Make sure they soak up all the wax. And lay them down. And it's kind of fun, and you made it yourself, and you didn't have to spend the money on packaging and brand names, and you're going to get your money's worth instead of, you know, something like this where there's only 12 of them in there. And look how bulky these are, you know. And you can make as many as you want, and just like I said, set them aside. I already have. I keep a few in my fire starter kit, as you saw, and I also have a whole bunch that I've put aside. And what the red one is, what these are, you know, like the tart burners right here. Where'd it go? Like these tart type burners. Whenever I'm done with that, I just save the wax, and that's why, like, some of them are pink and some of them are white. So any wax I guess will do. Throw another one in there. And just let them dry. I mean, you want to pop them in the fridge, you can cool them off faster that way, but you really don't have to. They're just, they'll solidify pretty good. Like here's, like we just made this one and it's almost solidified. And yeah, you can make your own and not have to spend so much money. So what do you use for fire starter? Do you use something like this, or do you have another method that you use? Or, I mean, yeah, you could use the little wood dry kindling, but sometimes you need a little bit of assistance to get that fire going. And these have not let me down. And it's basically next to nothing, you know? I mean, Dollar Tree, just pick up some of those pads, have fun, make your own, set them aside. You get the satisfaction. You made it yourself. You didn't spend all kinds of money. And that's it. I know. Just a little quick little video. The next video we have, guys, we're going to be going camping, and it'll be interesting. I promise. I have something to tell you that maybe you'll find interesting, and or maybe share with you. I have something to share with you that maybe you'll find interesting, and since it is Halloween, it does tie into like spooky season with Halloween coming up. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This is just a short little video. Like I said, I wanted to be out in the woods, but it didn't work out. It started out that way, but it ended up back here. And yeah, Let me know what you use for fire starters, or if you have any tips or suggestions. And yeah, that's about it. That's a wrap, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.